You're watching NBC 10.
Keep up with NBC News 24 hours a day on MSNBC. On cable and the internet, MSNBC News.
On this Save Our Streets, frenzied rock fans and their music.
I got points in my nose. Next thing I know, blood's pouring out of my nose.
I got kicked in the throat.
My friend broke his leg in the pit.
Concerts become battlegrounds. Mosh Mania. Plus, what's being done to protect your kids?
It's very devastating losing your child. If your child goes out to the clubs, never assume it can't happen to you.
Then, a survival guide for homeless teens.
Anything you really need to know is in the book. Like I said, clothing, showers. No, showers are number one, trust me.
The Street Bible that tells it like it is. All that in this edition of Save Our Streets.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Save Our Streets. I'm Tim Reid. Rock concerts have always been a celebration of music, freedom, and youthful spirit. But now, some concerts are resembling dangerous battlegrounds, pitting fans against one another, all in the name of fun. Our first story takes us behind the barricades for a staggering view of the mosh pit. December 1979, Concert Mania. The British mega band The Who plays to thousands of hysterical fans. Anxious ticket holders queue up for festival seating. But in Cincinnati, Ohio, the rush for seats turns to tragedy when 11 fans are trampled to death. Nearly 2 decades later, festival seating leads to new violence. Young fans are no longer just listening to the music, they're moshing to it.
You get in there, you know, you just let all your stress go. Just trying to show your toughness, all it is. I was trying to show how you're a man.
Moshing, the 90s version of punk rock slam dancing, where it doesn't matter if you got 2 left feet, as long as you know how to use them.
Loud music, insane, the movement, the violence.
Some people, you know, they want to go out there and they want to hit you, they want to knock you out.
Aggressiveness, violence. It's like a drug, that pure adrenaline that you feel.
Moshing takes place in a mosh pit, a churning mass of limbs and bodies moving to the beat of the music. They can form as suddenly as a hurricane and are sometimes just as fierce.
I got points in my nose. Next thing I know, blood's pouring out of my nose.
I got kicked in the throat once. I got like a footprint on my throat.
My friend broke his leg in the pit. He got smushed in. Some guy jumped off the stage and hit me with his boot. It's gushing real bad, but I didn't need stitches.
For the young people who do it, moshing is all about letting go. Getting hurt is just par for the course. Fear is not an option.
Usually, the good people will pick you up when you fall down. If you jump, we try to catch you generally. I mean, you know, if there's a common etiquette. There's actually an etiquette to being in there.
Moshing's not just about beating people's brains out. It's about dancing. It's about letting your body go with the music.
But many believe moshing is a barbaric ritual born of senseless anger and violence.
Get medical in here!
In the 90s, moshing has caused injury to 10,000 people worldwide. Some are paralyzed for life. About 24 have died.
He was a typical 18-year-old boy, Christopher was. He was very happy. He liked music. He played guitar, all-around happy, free-spirited person.
In 1994, Chris Mitchell was injured at a rock concert and subsequently died of a massive brain hemorrhage. Security guards say he leapt off the stage and landed on his head.
I didn't have any idea of moshing at the time. And when Chris came up to us that night and said he was going to a concert, I just never thought of anything other than sitting in your seats watching your musical group do their performance.
Chris was among a group of kids who were stage diving. Others were crowd surfing. That's when fans are lifted above the mosh pits and passed from hand to hand. When fans start crowd surfing and stage diving, security guards usually step in. Gabriella and Mike Mitchell say the guards went too far. They claim their son Chris died because he was actually thrown off the stage by a security guard.
If someone did wrong to someone, then they should pay for it one way or another.
The guard was eventually acquitted of all charges.
Sometimes a mosh pit can be so large and so many people that really there's nothing you can do. Trying to stop it, you're going to injure more people trying to stop it than to allow it to happen.
Concert security expert Corey Meredith says concert guards are not to blame for the fans' actions. If anyone, he believes rock promoters and musicians are responsible for moshing accidents.
The performers are asking for this type of activity, and it can be dangerous, and we're asked to stand back and not control it.
Tim Burton and Nate Albert of the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones like to see their fans moshing and see no harm in it.
No, I don't worry about their safety. I don't worry about my safety. The medical personnel on site are trained. And, you know, God bless them. If you want to get out there and hurt yourself, I'd say more power to you.
I've seen a lot of bizarre activity at concerts, but it is getting more extreme. It is getting more violent. You know, the music's getting, I think, harder.
Corey Meredith believes moshing can't be stopped, words that moshers love to hear.
From what I experienced, it's a really good time. You know, everyone goes out there and all they want to do is have fun. They just want to, you know, maybe, you know, nudge some elbows, you know, knock some people out. That's cool, and people like that. They're like, okay, I know you're hitting me because I'm going to hit you too.
When we come back,
why is anyone dying at a rock concert? It's not Vietnam, it's an entertainment event.
the mission to stop the madness.
You know, I've heard of these strips. Oh, they're from Pond's.
Pond's Clear Pore Strips deep clean to unclog pores and gently lift blackheads away. So all the stuff you don't want on your nose ends up on the strip.
It's like a veritable blackhead magnet.
Pond's new Clear Pore Strips.
Bye-bye, blackheads.
From the Pond's Institute.
With all the information about pain relievers, you may not know what to choose. Your doctor knows. The pain reliever they trust most is Tylenol. In fact, doctors have recommended Tylenol even more this year than last year. Tylenol combines the strength and the safety that's unsurpassed for everyday pain. For over 20 years, it's been the first choice of doctors and hospitals. Tylenol, the pain reliever hospitals use most.
How do you measure a Kool-Aid smile? By the capful. With sugar-sweetened Kool-Aid in the can, all you add is water to get all the smiles you want. Works in no time, every time. Give me some of that smile.
The home of happy auto parts, where saving money starts at Jimmy Choose Auto Parts.
Remember Jimmy's? Well, we're still here and better than ever. The one and only original Jimmy's has whatever you need in auto parts, bumper to bumper, tires to antenna. And they all come with Jimmy's guarantee. Give us a call and let our experts solve all your parts problems at the best prices anywhere. For fast, easy service, think Jimmy's, just off the Allegheny Avenue exit of I-95. The original Jimmy's, the home of happy auto parts.
From the producers of Gulliver's Travels and The Odyssey, in Camelot, a child born of magic grew to become the greatest wizard ever. Hallmark Entertainment presents Sam Neill, Merlin on NBC.
Tonight, News 10 at 11 takes you behind the scenes of Merlin. The magic, the romance, the mystery of Merlin. Only News 10 can unmask the mystical secrets of Merlin. The special effects wizards of Merlin. Tonight on News 10 at 11.
It's the adrenaline. It's the high you feel. It's mostly with the music, too. It's just dancing. And if somebody gets hurt, broken arm, or bleeding head, it happens.
Rocky Gonzalez started moshing because it was a cool thing to do.
When we first started out in the pits, mosh pits, there wasn't really much violence. It was mostly like slam dancing. Now it's like everyone just trying to hit each other. I've been socked a couple times in the nose, in the head, elbowed. Some guys, just some big guys, just come around and just take you out. I've had, like, I don't know, just a body just fall against my knees and just took me out, and there I was, like, lying down flat on the floor, just getting trampled.
Rocky discovered what the parents of Chris Mitchell learned the hard way, that moshing can be very dangerous.
The kids insist on moshing. You can't stop them from doing whatever they're going to do because everybody wants to try something, I guess. I don't want to be the one to prohibit it, but I think there should be some laws or some guidelines set for the club owners.
After Chris died in a moshing accident, New York State Senator Joseph Holland took action.
We entered a bill in the state legislature that doesn't say you can't do moshing, and it doesn't say the music is too loud or you have to do away with the music. All it says is that if somebody allows moshing in their facility and an individual is hurt or killed, then they are liable for that injury or death.
Others are joining in the fight to make moshing safer.
The question really is this, is why is anyone dying at a rock concert? It's not Vietnam. It's not a street gang issue. It's an entertainment event.
Crowd management expert Paul Wertheimer has released a set of concert guidelines for mosh pit safety.
It falls upon the person who holds the public assembly license or the person who promotes the event to make it safe.
Wertheimer says promoters should make sure festival seating events are controlled by police. Pushing and shoving should be prohibited and mosh pits isolated.
They ought to separate that area from the majority of an audience that doesn't want to slam into other members of the audience. It's necessary to ban stage diving when someone jumps off a stage into the audience, and that includes banning performers from doing that.
Wertheimer advocates padding floors, placing barriers in front of stages, and banning alcohol and cigarettes inside mosh pits.
Since I do nothing to encourage mosh pit, I am not the one who is responsible for the mosh pit, nor am I responsible for any individual being in that mosh pit.
Kate Nelson owns the Palace nightclub in Los Angeles. She says club owners and concert promoters can only do so much to protect moshers.
We have signs posted, no stage diving, no crowd surfing. If we have anything of that nature, we can identify the individual and eject them from the club.
Ultimately, Nelson believes most moshers know what they're getting into.
I've seen kids come out of this club and they've got a bloody nose from something that they were doing, and they've just had the darn nicest time that they could even imagine. That's something they do. If that's what they want to do, I don't see why I should be liable.
Some musicians are also taking a stand against mosh pit violence. T.K. Byron fronts the band Intox.
I don't really like to see it. I'd rather people enjoy the music. I like when people move to the music. And like I said, a mosh pit that isn't overly violent is cool. I just don't like to see people get hurt.
And Dickie Barrett of the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones says an injured fan is his worst fear.
I don't know if I could live with myself if somebody got seriously hurt. No, I think they look out for each other, and they should.
As the rock industry considers measures to make moshing less lethal, one organization is already on the front lines, helping victims.
The people that we see from the mosh pits are usually just kids who zigged when they should have zagged, because for the most part, they're not trying to hurt each other. And we don't see that much. A nose here, you know, maybe an elbow to the eye there.
Steve Conrad is show manager for Rock Medicine, a volunteer group of doctors, nurses, and paramedics. They've been helping concert goers since the days of flower power and free love.
We're totally non-judgmental. We're here to help. We don't care how you got into the distress that you're in. If you're feeling distressed, we want to help it.
RockMed sets up treatment centers at concerts around Northern California. Armed with bandages and braces, volunteers like David Relman get young fans back on their feet.
People come out fine, for the most part. I mean, people come out with minor bumps and bruises and cuts, but it's really surprising how rarely we see something serious.
But sentiments like those are of little comfort to the Mitchells. They advise parents to learn about concerts and know what their children are getting into.
It's very devastating losing your child. If your child goes out to the clubs, never assume it can't happen to you.
You could die from it. And even not on your own accord, by the hands of someone else. By just a stupid act of someone else, not watching what he's doing.
Despite the risk and warnings, in a game where getting hurt can be half the fun, it's hard to keep moshers away. Pressure is building on concert promoters to make their events safer. Because of the mosh pit-related accidents, insurance premiums for major promoters have nearly doubled. Some pay more than $175,000 a year to defend themselves in lawsuits.
Straight ahead.
You don't exactly go to somebody outside of the street and say, I got bugs, where do I get rid of them?
From body bugs to HIV tests, the survival guide for homeless kids. Next on Save Our Streets.
I kind of felt that depression was my fault and it's something that I should be able to fix on my own. I felt like I was fighting myself, trying just to get through each day, and I couldn't do it anymore.
When you're ready to get help, Charter is here, and you can call us anytime. Charter is more than just a hospital. We have lots of treatment options and lots of ways to make them work for you, whether it's days, after work, or on weekends.
I thought, well, I'm the only one that has this problem, and it's not true.
If you have a problem with depression or alcohol, don't wait to call. If you don't get help at Charter, please get help somewhere.
A lot of people don't realize that their home is a valuable asset. With a loan from Common Point Mortgage, you can borrow up to 125% of the value of your home, less the first mortgage balance. Get the maximum potential out of your home to consolidate debts, make home improvements, pay for college tuition, or even take that dream vacation. Common Point is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and can take your application right over the phone. Call Common Point Mortgage at 1-800-968-2221.
You've spent your entire life sleeping in an old-fashioned flat bed, but now you have the opportunity to find out about a better, healthier way to relax and sleep. Get this free information kit about Craftmatic adjustable beds. Call toll-free and a helpful operator will mail you a free Craftmatic adjustable bed catalog and this special rebate certificate. It's worth $200 off any Craftmatic Model 1 adjustable bed. Why is Craftmatic making this rebate offer? It's our way of saying thanks for taking the time to find out about Craftmatic. There is, of course, absolutely no obligation for calling toll-free and requesting this helpful information kit. So if you have any interest in adjustable beds, pick up your phone and call now.
Call toll-free 1-800-892-2626. That's 1-800-892-2626. Toll-free 1-800-892-2626.
Next on Spring.
The only time you even give me sex or clean the house is when you find out I have somebody else.
Vicky is Jason's wife, and Lisa is his mistress.
He ain't going home with you, he's going home with me.
An angry wife fights back. Plus,
Everyone's gonna play by my rules.
Misty's husband been sleeping with Anna.
I am more woman than this little girl will ever be.
Wives battle mistresses.
Nothing stops me. Ever.
Next Jerry Springer. Today at 2 on NBC 10.
We see them on the streets every day, homeless men and women struggling to survive. The hardest to recognize are teenagers, yet the teen homeless population is on the rise. Now, some of these kids are getting help and guidance from a little book they call the Street Bible. Kids are sleeping in our parks, surviving on our streets.
My name is Tasha, and I'm 20 years old.
It's easy to walk right past Tasha or Johnny and not see the signs of homelessness.
I don't consider myself homeless. I consider myself houseless.
They are among the growing legions of kids living on the streets. But street life is hardly carefree or glamorous, even in the beautiful city of San Francisco.
Think of it. There you are on the street. I mean, you're already stressed out. You don't have enough food. You don't have enough clothes. Even your companionship. How do you keep friends?
Charlene Shearhart provides temporary relief. The St. Anthony's Foundation offers clothing, food, and shelter. But how do the kids find her? In a publication that's considered the street Bible, the unofficial white pages of San Francisco. The Haight Ashbury Youth Outreach Team Resource Guide. It's a compendium of tips written by those who know best, street kids. Mark Sabin developed the street guide at the Haight Ashbury Free Clinic.
We wanted to have a book that if we couldn't meet the needs or have a long conversation with a young person, we could say, here's your situation on page X, Y, or Z, look up in the index, and hand them a book and say, here it is. And in this book is also a map of how to get to that place.
Free for the asking and to make it user-friendly, Sabin tried something new, teen-aged authors. They mix street lingo with an essential survival skill, humor. Try this catchy panhandling phrase. Spare a quarter for my disorder?
What I do know is kids do come up here and say, can I have one of those books? So what that tells me is other kids have said, hey, this book has been helpful to me.
Anything you really need to know is in the book. Like I said, clothing, showers. No, showers are number one, trust me.
I came here for the first time to San Francisco. It was the end of last summer.
Philip says finding a place to shower could have helped him earlier to build his self-esteem and enter the job market.
I think I'd showered maybe 2 or 3 times for 2.5 months that I was here, which is pretty unusual for me, and I was lucky that I didn't get staph and things such as that, but I think this would have helped out a lot.
132 pages of free food, medicine, HIV testing, dental care, and legal advice, all mapped out. To help kids avoid AIDS and other dangers of the streets, the guide even addresses such controversial topics as needle sharing and how unsafe it is.
My friend had body bugs and he didn't know where to get rid of them. So he used the book to find out where to go to debug. He was too embarrassed to ask anybody. You don't exactly go up to somebody outside of the street and say, I got bugs, where do I get rid of them?
Sooner or later, the book leads many of the street kids back to St. Anthony's. But the waiting room is getting more crowded, and it's often hard to get attention.
Where exactly are your cousins?
We also see many people who do have a job but do not have health benefits. That's becoming the new poorest of the poor. Now that we're going to even cut further by many of the welfare cuts, the youth and others are just going to have no place to go. And I think we all, need to really think about what's ahead and be part of the solution.
The Haight Ashbury Youth Resource Guide does not condone or glamorize street life. But as long as kids are out there, it offers immediate help with long-range goals to help get our kids off the streets.
What I really laughed about it was it came from the people who cared. It didn't came from City Hall or the government. It came from the citizens.
It's a pretty cool book. I use it a lot. I refer it to a lot of people.
Every year in San Francisco, 2,000 kids end up on the streets. While those you've just seen are getting help from the street manual, your time and donations could mean another day or week or year of living.
On behalf of Father Time, we request your patience this summer. Pendulums will swing more slowly, and the sun will take the long way home. Because this year, Country Time introduces new lemonade iced tea, the taste of good old-fashioned lemonade, mellowed by real brewed iced tea. So, if Father Time starts lagging behind, it's because such a smooth blend turns the chime of ice cubes into an awfully good lullaby.
Rainy day blues got you down, don't frown, girl. Just smile at the sun and cover girl's seashells. She says, seashells, new shades by cover girl. Pink shells, sand castles, silver plums, and everything is sun-kissed. So get what she says. Cover girl, seashells, a fresh idea, a fresh face to the world. Easy breezy, beautiful cover girl.
When the snow melts and the earth blooms, the mountain air takes on a clean, fragrant freshness. Your clothes can have that clean mountain scent with Mountain Spring Tide.
Like regular scent powder Tide, its unique cleaning system washes away many tough stains better than leading regular powders and helps clean away the fuzz that can make cottons look old.
Fresh, like a cool mountain spring.
Mountain Spring Tide. If it's gotta be clean, it's gotta be Tide.
I'm nothing without you, my sweet love. Perhaps I'm sentimental, but this is fundamental. I'm nothing without you, cool, my sweet love.
The farmers have been bringing us their harvest for 45 years. Then the farm co-op brought me something different. News. That soybeans like ours could be used to make a cooking oil, fry up snack chips without adding any fat or calories. At Crisco, they figured without all the fat of regular chips, this Olean could help lots of people eat a little healthier. Well, all I say is doing good starts right in your own backyard.
New fat-free Olean, a good place to start.
Doesn't your body deserve to be as beautiful as your face?
New Pond's Ultra Silk Body Lotion takes dramatic advances in face care, like alpha hydroxys, below the neck. For younger-looking, more beautiful skin all over. New Pond's Ultra Silk.
Closed captioning provided by...
Why is America on America Online?
We can shop.
Check your stocks.
Get movie reviews.
Instant messages.
You name it. Online, I've got it.
So easy to use, no wonder it's #1.
Thanks for joining us. If you have comments about the stories you've just seen or would like tips to help keep your kids safe, email us at sosusa@aol.com. That's sosusa@aol.com. Until our next edition of Save Our Streets, I'm Tim Reid. Stay safe out there.
Why is America on America Online?
It's my key to the whole internet.
Email.
I get instant messages.
Check your stocks.
Get movie reviews.
So easy to use, no wonder it's #1.
Take a bite of Croissant Pockets ham and cheddar and discover smoked ham and real cheddar cheese in a crispy, flaky croissant crust.
What are you gonna pick?
Croissant Pockets.
Tootsie Candy Quiz. Tootsie Rolls have always been low in fat.
True.
Tootsie Pops are even lower in fat.
True.
Tootsie Candy, low fat and delicious.
At Gordon Furniture, for $7.99, you get this complete bed wall. Isn't that amazing? You can get this fantastic love seat and sofa, 2 pieces, for just $7.99. And you know what the best part is? You can get all this furniture with no payment for 90 days. At Gordon Furniture, there's no down payment, no interest, and no payments for 90 days. You can see it at Siemens. You can love it at Levitt's. But get it at Gordon Furniture. Brand name furniture that's a lot cheaper.
Today on News 10, first at 4. The most memorable news events of the past 25 years. News 10 remembers then and updates you on what's happening now. From the first test tube baby to the energy crisis. Heidnick's House of Horrors to the Vietnam prisoners of war. Then and now, Today, first at 4, captured and held in Vietnam. 25 years later, 3 Delaware Valley POWs tell their stories of survival. Then and now, a special report today on News 10, first at 4.
I'm Maureen O'Boyle on the next Extra. He's a convicted child molester who applied for a job as a Boy Scout counselor and got it.
He's a convicted rapist. No, hang on, I just want to show the emperor pedophilia. Can we just...
The shocking story and surprise.